He broke up. Oh, shit.
Welcome back to the Podcast That Rock, weekly podcast that talks about news in the world of rock, metal, alternative, and everything in between. My name is Luke.
My name is Alex.
And my name is Rowan.
Thank you so much for your patience. I apologize that we were gone for last week. Moving has been awful, and I'm never moving again.
Mm-hmm. Say that now.
Yeah, I do. And guess what? I mean it.
I believe.
Never again.
This is the house that you're saying it forever, right?
Yes. People just come to me from now on. I'll make that happen. It's easier that way. I don't care what other issues I have to work with. That's fine. So, thank you all, however, for tuning in. Hope you're all doing well on this Tuesday evening or afternoon or wherever you are. We already have a lot of super chats. We'll have at least 2 additional days of random rock or flop festivals. Thank you to Paul and Metamorphosis for your super chats. We'll go through as many as we can later. We're going to try to keep this to an hour the best we can. Keep in mind, we got unique stuff to cover, and I want to make sure everything gets its attention. Also, we were gone last week, and that's 100% my fault. My apologies to Alex and Rowan, who have been here present and ready every week. I'm the first one that had to bail out because literally the ceiling was leaking and my animals were sick, and I still was in the process of moving. I wish I was making all of that up.
Dude, the sky was falling. It happens. I'm so sorry.
It kind of was. Yeah, it kind of was. So, other than that, I hope you guys are doing well. We are now in the thick of January, nearing the end of it. I think we're all ready. I can't hear you, Luke, but it works. Happy Tuesday. JK, it was my volume on my phone. Just for future reference, maybe test your own stuff out before asking public chat on a live stream your IT questions. I don't know. I know it's innocent, but maybe that helps sometimes. So maybe.
Turn it off and then turn it back on again.
Yes.
Yeah, try not to sabotage us, please.
Okay, before we get to our first music story, I have to tell you this because Gretchen knows it. When we had our major leak, it came from the washing machine. The plumbers, because our washer and dryer are on the second floor. That's where they wanted it. And for whatever, they installed a lot of the plumbing and the pans wrong. So I got on chat support for the washing machine too from Best Buy. Best Buy's first response, have you tried turning the washer off and on again? It's a leak. What is that gonna fix? So.
Oh no.
So yeah, that's how that was going too. So we are gonna do our very best to dissect the SeeYouSpaceCowboy situation. It is a murky, muddy mess. It sucks that it's happening. I'm sure there will be future updates, but we're gonna go through what we know now because over the past less than 2 weeks, it's really been blown wide open. So. Alex and Rowan, are you somewhat familiar with the situation that has gone on, at least for the past week?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's fair, too, because there's been a lot of little blips. Even since yesterday, there have been updates. So, for those who are not aware, SeeYouSpaceCowboy, metalcore band that's been around for a few years, they had an album come out last year that was good. Really solid stuff. What happened here, if we go over, was SeeYouSpaceCowboy was booked to go on tour for supporting Dance Gavin Dance. Dance Gavin Dance is a cursed band. We were laughing about this before we actually went live. Dance Gavin Dance cannot keep a singer to save their life, and their previous singer, Tillian, now 2X singer, was the most recent one. I will not go into the history of Dance Gavin Dance singers. Again, we want to keep this podcast to an hour. So, Tillian was accused with proof, hard evidence of some, how do I want to put this? Not full Adobe PDF file behavior, but some very grotesque behavior with chat message proof and all that. He left. About a year went by. Dance Gavin Dance brings him back. And then some more months go by. Then he leaves again saying this isn't going to work out. That we thought was the end of it. Well, now that SeeYouSpaceCowboy is going to go on tour with them, there's 2 issues. One, the singer for SeeYouSpaceCowboy is trans, Connie. And going on tour with a band like Dance Gavin Dance, who has this history, did not exactly make Connie feel comfortable. And from what we know now, it really wasn't a situation where they were reaching out to Dance Gavin Dance and vice versa. This was most likely a label, producer, publicist pairing. That happens so much more than people think. When you see your favorite, there's so many concerts and lineups that got announced today. It's not the band's singers getting on the phone with themselves and saying, hey, you want to tour with us? Yeah, that's never how it works. Never, ever, ever. So the situation now is that Connie posted a lot of stuff about how she is not happy about the situation. And as of yesterday, she started posting some fairly concerning things. As of now, Connie is fine, but it looks like they're in the process of leaving. I have on screen right now some of the Instagram text posts she posted. I appreciate everyone reaching out to me. SYSC meant the world to me. I haven't fully processed what's going on right now, but I'm alive as of now. That's not great. Destined to be a statistic, this crazy trans person who couldn't put herself back together. That's now getting a bit alarming. I can't tell if this is supposed to be a redemption story or a downfall, curtain call and all, mid-plot or the end. I'm not sure of anything anymore. I fought against so much to be someone amongst everything, someone to show you can do something more despite mental illness, despite being trans and trying to exist as normal people, and someone who carries so much trauma, and in the end, it all goes up in flames. But in the end, when push comes to shove, the guillotine comes for us all. Now, that's pretty dark, and from what we know now, it does look like she's in the process of leaving. I'm going to be honest, and I want to give Alex and Rowan some time on this too. Without Connie and SeeYouSpaceCowboy, that band does not have the edge they have, period. If you've heard SeeYouSpaceCowboy, just their most recent album, the band would not even be close to the personality and force they are. So, Alex, Rowan, any thoughts so far?
So, I mentioned what you guys right before we went live, but interestingly how I came across the story, at least, like weeks ago when the tour first got announced from Dance Gavin Dance, I saw like one of the shows was like literally like 20 minutes from my house. So I was like, oh sweet, I like the music. I like the music. So I got a ticket. Then like I was like on Reddit and I saw the Dance Gavin Dance Reddit just going absolutely crazy because of the first wave of statements from like SeeYouSpaceCowboy's fan base back when like they were getting like some flack because of the supposed hypocrisy of the situation. Sure. Yeah. And then out of curiosity, I was like, oh, I've never heard of SeeYouSpaceCowboy. So I've only listened to one of their albums. It's Entrance and Exit Wounds. Mm-hmm. And I loved it. And now it's like a thing where it's like, oh, now I'm kind of sad this is happening specifically. Yeah. Now it's like, oh, this is a shame. This band is actually like really good.
Yeah. And it kind of sucks that it happened this way. Alex, any thoughts so far?
I'm just bummed that there's so much internal conflict, like within the band.
Yes.
And it's coming out this way. That's always such a bummer when you guys can't see eye to eye. And obviously it's going to affect the music. It's going to affect the band and lead to situations like this. That really sucks in this specific situation.
It does. And again, we'll bring up as many updates as we can for when more pops up. I'm confident it will. I'm confident there will be more updates on this. It's not impossible for things to be smoothed over. Like the band stays together, they drop off the Dance Gavin Dance tour, the band goes on hiatus for a bit. There's a lot of different ways this could play out without a terrible ending for a group. There really is.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. Well, in addition to like the internal conflict, Rowan kind of touched on it. There's just a lot of pressure, I guess, from the fans, because of the hypocrisy and all of these things coming at them. So, I mean, if there were, like you said, Luke, there are definite ways to fix the situation here. This is not like an absolute total implosion.
Correct. This is not
this is fixable. Yeah.
It is. It is. There is many different paths this could take. And I hope for something positive for everyone. Now we get into more of the muck and the murk, because one person who wanted to be the antagonist and wanted to stir the pot on this whole mess was one Ronald Radke Esquire, who went on X, Twitter, crap site. We have to think of more names for Twitter. Now that I'm off Twitter and I privated my account and I deleted it from my phone, I have to admit it's really nice not to have to actually look at that anymore. Anyway.
I'm pretty sure we've had what happened yesterday. People have some new names for X, but we probably can't say it.
No. Give it
I'll be super honest with both of you. Like, I haven't used X in so many years.
Yeah.
I've always
never
not
touched
very
it.
X friendly.
Never
exactly.
touched it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. From the bottom of my heart, it's not worth it. So, Other social media platforms I have made money off of doing Rocked. Never a dime from Twitter, never a dime from X, and I could not care less. So, however, Ronnie Radke is addicted to social media, and first he made a message when all this was coming out saying, calling Connie a hypocrite, saying that, no, you do back it. I saw, like, she backs Dance Gavin Dance and being on the tour. He first responded, no, you do back it. I saw the screenshots of your text to the band. How he got privy to that information, I'll never know. Also, you were making $100,000 on the Dance Gavin Dance tour. You blank, 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 blank. Blank poser. Drop off the tour if you don't back it then. Oh, wait, you need that 100K. That was the first post from one Ronald Radke, who clearly does not understand that people have more conflicting ideas and opinions on something, and they may not have known about the touring situation. But then again, Ronnie Radke does not think about things, he reacts. And that's the standard for Twitter. Don't think, just type. So he then went on and said, I got to find the other one. He then added the band on Twitter publicly and said, hey, SeeYouSpaceCowboy, let me know if you want me to produce a new song and sing on the track in place of that other singer that quit. That is intentionally trying to stir the pot and intentionally try to out someone. Ronnie Radke, who has a serious history of being anti-trans, homophobic, and ableist, with posts today reflecting that just in the last 24 hours. This was a targeted attack that for something he had nothing to do with.
Well, to that point, I know, do you think I'm just like thinking objectively here. Do you think this also came out on Roddy's radar because Dance Gavin Dance opened for Falling in Reverse last year?
Possibly. And he might be friends with other bands too. We know he is. He might be with Dance Gavin Dance. Even the chain, though, why he would see the text message with Connie's approval of payouts for a full band in production and get the text message saying how excited he was and then calling Connie out like that, he gets nothing out of it. He's just trying to stir the pot, even if it's all possible. Yeah. So.
And that's weird. Like,
is.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
It's
like, it's totally
he
giving me vibes.
Controversy. He loves stuff like this.
He does.
He knows it will get him attention.
He does.
I know. It is so weird.
And I think in the current climate, and I mean this when I say it, going after a trans singer is exactly apropos for the attention he wants to get.
Again, like, I know we've said it over and over again, but legit, is Falling in Reverse's music really that good to the fans that they are willing to put up with all this? I feel like just in terms of what the style is, there are other bands who don't have that reputation that you can cling on to.
I have two answers for that. One, if you're 14 years old, yes. Yes, the music is that diehard for you. He has a young audience, and he relies on that. Number two, we will unfortunately talk more about Falling in Reverse live performances later on.
Yeah.
On the podcast. We are going to move on. Again, we'll give you as many updates as we can. I do have a brief update, though, one about Mr. Ronald Radke, Esquire. Breaking news as of less than 4 hours ago, and this is a situation that I think actually is a good thing. Longtime partner Sera has broken up with Ronnie Radke. After 6 years living together, enough is enough. Sera Paige, however you want to call her, said, "Get out of my house. It's my house now." If you're a wrestling fan, you'll get that joke. Well done on the timing for whoever played that. I don't know who it was, but well done. This was posted today, and it does look like Madam Sera was the one to initiate it. So this might be a reason why on X, he is really going after people, calling them homophobic slurs and ableist slurs and things like that today. He might be having, yeah. When you get
breakdown, yeah.
I don't know. I've been dumped years ago. I never had that problem as a reaction.
You're an adult.
That's true. That's true.
If you're hung up about a breakup, you don't go online and just bash people on Twitter. You grab a pint of Ben and Jerry's and then you cry to like a reality TV show like everyone else.
He might be doing that while he's on Twitter with his other hand, just doing the things too, because that's how he works. Ronnie Radke's several years older than I am.
Well, age is just a number, Luke.
Apparently.
Please don't say that. Not in this context.
So, I see so many people. Good for her. Party
She's
celebration.
free.
She's free. Wow, chat is like a full celebration right now.
I mean,
Yeah, good for
Okay.
Sera.
We'll keep this brief. Paige, or Sera, has had a sordid, rough history with past relationships. Definitely has a type. Oddly enough, Ronnie Radke is not the worst past partner she has had. Not by a long shot. And that sucks to say. I also met, I think I've said this story before. Here's a picture where we met in 2017. She was super nice. She was on a little hiatus from wrestling. This was at the time after she broke up with the bassist of A Day to Remember, who she was engaged to. They broke up. She was then dating a member of Attilla, and on that tour, who was also on that festival tour, and also on that festival tour was Falling in Reverse. So her past, present, and future partners were all on this same show. It was definitely odd. And also their former fiance from not at the drive-in, A Day to Remember, was definitely the one that was the creeper that got kicked out of the band. So now you're all.
She has a type, but
You've not said anything that people aren't aware. Her other former fiance, a wrestler by the name of Alberto Del Rio, former WWE champion, is literally persona non grata in the wrestling world and a lot of stuff. Drugs, kidnapping, you name it. And
my brother was a fan of them like when we were younger.
And oddly enough, she proposed to him. So we need to move on. So yeah, someone said LOL Attila. Well, I'm glad the chat can have a little fun. We're at 31 likes right now. If we get 50 likes, we'll get another round of Festival Rock or Flop. Please hit the like button. It does help a ton. Tell your friends. Tell people you don't like. We just need the views. Thank you. I need to recoup this month after moving. Ugh. So now on to some good news. We had some good news this week, I promise. We got word over the past week and a half, actually, that 2025, the return of 9 Inch Nails. And I'm very happy about that. Ooh. Not only are we getting a tour, there's also potential for new music. There's a lot of rumors about that as well. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross are the two type of creative people that cannot stop. They don't take breaks.
Well, I think I remember too. I think it was like our second episode where we covered the announcement that they were scoring the new Tron movie.
Mm-hmm. Tron Ares. Yeah. Yep. And I could care less about the Tron movie, but you better believe I'm going to check out the soundtrack. So.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So.
I think that's everyone's like.
I think you're right. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah. Come on now. So we knew of 2 dates that got leaked. One was in Florida, at least. We don't know if there's going to be any festival performances. I'm hoping there are. However, Nine Inch Nails also made the announcement saying they're delaying their full tour announcement because of the LA fires, and they wanted to wait a little bit. Actual responsible response for a band and tour to say, hey, there's actual tragedy for like 15 to 20% of the US population right now. Let's post this like a couple weeks later. They'll be fine.
How respectful.
Right? See, it's possible.
What a concept.
I know. However, we should be getting a full tour from what it is. Peel It Back World Tour is apparently what it's going to be called. That might be the name of the new album, which does sound Nine Inch Nails-esque. Peel It Back. That does actually kind of fit. 2 shows were announced. One in Toronto, Ontario. One in Tampa, Florida. There's probably going to be a lot more. It's been a while since Nine Inch Nails performed last in 2022 and had a tour, the Trilogy Tour, in 2017 to 2018. That's when I shot them at Aftershock in 2017. That's the only time I saw Nine Inch Nails live, and it was amazing. Have either of you seen it?
It was a good one.
You were there too, right?
Yeah, I was at that Aftershock.
Yeah. See, I don't even, like, if we knew each other at that point, it was just in passing.
We were totally just doing the circles around the media tent.
Exactly. Like for the old DWP festivals of the 2010s, the DWP tents could kind of be like a chaotic stock market frenzy almost.
Absolutely. We were all like,
yes,
the whole time.
However, I'm very excited. Rowan, have you ever seen Nine Inch Nails?
Haven't, but in terms of like my bucket list of bands I want to see, they were like, I'm not even joking, like top 3. Like if any of those shows are like more like in the northeast part of the country, I'm going to make like the biggest effort to go to it.
I can't imagine they would skip out on more shows in the Northeast if we already know they're going to like Northern Canada, like Northeast Canada.
Yeah, like the New England area,
yeah.
You know?
They could do Madison Square Garden easily. It's been long enough and they've had so much success since then, they'll sell it out pretty quick. So that is not what I wanted. I wanted to show This is the photo that I got a lot of compliments of by DWP staff and people, because apparently I was the only one that actually got good photos. If you've never seen Nine Inch Nails live, it is a strobe show spectacular. Meaning, if you have epilepsy, you may just want to look at the ground for the entire set. Strobes and smoke for days. But it's a great show, and they sound amazing. It's so many musicians on stage with them as well. It's an industrial heaven, and people were losing their minds in Sacramento that night. I'm talking barking at the moon, screaming their heads off, losing it. So
it was like a great time.
It really
so
was.
fun.
Strobe lights and people going manic. Yes,
in the middle of a dusty park. Yes, that is correct. It was was that
even
way.
better.
Yes, put Nine Inch Nails on everyone's to-do lists.
Yeah, pretty much. So this is the good things that are coming in 2025, and I'm excited for this. Again, we'll find out dates later. I hope they're doing festival stops. I don't know where or what. In my mind, that would be like a huge festival get, and they've done festivals all the time, so it's not like they're against it. So I think
would be a super fun one.
Right? And they've done a lot of big ones too. So here's hoping. I'm very happy. Let me know in the chat if you've seen Nine Inch Nails live. Let me know where. I'm just curious when and where you saw them, because there's so many good things about it too.
So many different eras of Nine Inch Nails too.
Yeah, there you go. 12 more likes, and we'll get another round of Festival Rock or Flop. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We truly appreciate it. As we move on from Trent Reznor, I know that's going to break some hearts. We can't just make this the Trent Reznor podcast for the week, unfortunately. We now move on to another tease. We've got some teasings of new music coming as it's the beginning of the year. Another good news. Remember how a couple of weeks ago we said Brem Of The Horizon is completely burnt out and they just have to have a break because they've been doing so much? Yeah, Oli Sykes has already teased new music with posting a picture of a file for another song. So,
Ollie.
Yeah, so that's in typical Oli Sykes fashion. Yeah, we're definitely going to get new Brem Of The Horizon soon. Is it a remix or collab or just a one-off? Because they've done that before. That's fine. But yeah, we're definitely getting more Brem Of The Horizon in 2025.
Now I'm especially curious as well, because now that Jordan Fish is gone, I'm wondering what type of style of song this would be. Are we going to get are we going to kind of go back to the early stuff, like there is a hell, there's a heaven, there's a hell?
Before
I probably messed that up.
Before Sempiternal.
Yeah.
Possible. I will say this, and Alex, you can... I haven't prefaced you with this either. When we saw them at Sick New World without Jordan Fish, it was still a great show. It really was.
It was. It absolutely was.
So
do they still have all the electronic stuff, just backing?
I think they might have had a couple backing tracks, but also it was a big festival performance, so they had some cameos. They brought Baby Metal out to do Kingslayer and stuff, so it was definitely
but I
show.
just mean all the electronic
lot,
aspects of their songs. Yeah,
I'd be willing to bet there were some backtracks, but for the most part, it was just the 5 of them, and they were really putting in the real performance.
And it sounded fantastic. They brought it. They looked great. They were vibing great.
Yes.
I think whatever they do is going to be fun. Because I like both. I like both sides.
I do too. When it's done right, I think they can do it well. And Brem Of The Horizon is definitely in a good spot. So thank you guys. As we move on with that, also Jesse Lee of SiriusXM Octane said, the frontman posted a screenshot of what appears to be a WAV file or a new song. The title is Blank Wall. That's the name of the file. It's cut off, intentionally cut off. To which Jesse Lee says, maybe it's a Wonderwall cover. I'm not against. I'm not against them trying that, because of all the college and bar bros that have tried to cover Wonderwall, let an actual musician with a good history try it. Let him scream it too. Let him just scream the whole song.
There are some really good covers that go way in the opposite direction. I'll give you that.
There's also some bad covers of Wonderwall in mainstream music. I don't know if anyone knows who Little Peep is, but he sampled the guitar riff from Wonderwall for a song.
The basic 4-chord structure, that's it?
Yeah. It's called Yesterday. And I had this one friend who tried to trick our friends into listening to the song, where he would play the song and it starts with the Wonderwall guitar riff. So you're thinking oh, it's Wonderwall. Then it's then he gets with the, oh, gotcha moment. It was a stupid joke and no one liked it.
That sounds like a TikTok reaction type thing. Okay.
It was.
Very
much.
Fair enough. Okay. We'll have more word about Brem Of The Horizon soon, because it's coming. So now we got 2 festivals to talk about. We'll go in order. I already gave my thoughts on one of them publicly on socials in a short. We'll get to that in a moment. That was today. The first one, however, was announced a few days ago, and that's RockFest in Wisconsin. Headlined by Rob Zombie, Five Finger Death Punch, Bad Omens. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, July 17th, 18th, 19th. Alex and Rowan, I'll let you guys go first on this one. Alex, your thoughts on the RockFest lineup?
I think it's great. I think it's super fun. I love Rob Zombie. I love Bad Omens. And Five Finger Death Punch, they're fun. I haven't seen them in many, many, many years, but I mean, they always sound like Five Finger Death Punch. I think it's really cool that Eve 6 is going to be on this lineup.
As long as he does like live tweeting and like live trolling people online, fine. I'm fine with it because he is a master at that. So
it is so funny. I just want to hear Heart in a Blender. That's it. I'm so excited. It's gonna be great.
I mean, that's the song. That and one other. So yeah. Rowan,
yeah, I think it's a great lineup.
If you've seen it, Rowan, your thoughts on the RockFest lineup for 2025 in Wisconsin?
Again, Rob Zombie would just be like so much fun. I would just lose my mind in the pit listening to Dragula or something like that. And also, like, Five Finger Death Punch, like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really listen to them all that much now, but I had a phase in like very early into high school where it was like nothing but them. So I don't know, maybe like some nostalgia would be kind of nice.
Yeah, I'll give my thought.
Straight up, I'm going to agree with you on that real quick. Sorry,
No, you're good,
Luke, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to agree with you on that one for sure because that first album, Five Finger Death Punch, dropped in like what 07?
Oh wait, yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
early, like American Capitalism before. You're not going to hear me argue about.
Yeah, that first album was.
Yeah.
That wasn't even where I started. It was like during like my edgier phase, I listened to like Jekyll and Hyde, and he's like, "Oh yo yo." It's like I don't know why. There's like the 13-year-old me just all like, "Oh, this is so awesome.
This is metal. Oh yo yo, yeah, metal."
I listen to the song. I just immediately grow a soul patch, and I have like a Monster Energy appear in my hand.
The Monster Energy logo is tattooed on your neck.
Oh no! It's like a weird sort of like beard.
Oh, it makes the chin beard and the shape. There you go. So
I see people like do that. Why?
So my thoughts on RockFest. It's two-part. One for the lineup. Saw Rob Zombie his last performance in 2024 when he closed out. He was the last performance before Slayer's return at Riot Fest. And that was the best I've seen Rob Zombie in years. It was a blast. It was such a spectacle. You could tell he was loving life. Rob Zombie's great live. Knocked Loose as the second to final for Rob Zombie. Big get. Good for them. Also, Bad Omens actually getting the headline spot on Saturday. We do not talk enough about younger bands, and I say younger, in retrospect, actually getting a headline spot. It's finally starting to happen a little. I'm not even diehard crazy Bad Omens fan, but I'm happy this is working. Good. I'm not crazy about Five Finger Death Punch live, and I've made that very clear over the years on my channel. I'm also not crazy about Marilyn Manson, especially live. The last time I saw him was Aftershock 2019 when he was drunk. But he says he's sober, but I'm not really into the music, so I would be leaving early Friday. However, there's a lot of good material in the mid-card. A lot.
Yeah, totally.
And also the other thing, I've only heard good things about how RockFest is run and how nice they are to people, both fans and attendees and media and staff and stuff. So
I gotta ask you, Luke, did you see this Ja Rule? What?
I know. They do a little bit of everything. Or not everything, but they always have a few outliers. They have Yellow Wolf there too. So they do.
When Ja Rule gets on stage, he's going to announce Firefest 2.
That actually is still coming. Oh, no, it should have happened by then. So let's hope not. So, but also Bad Omens and Poppy on the same day. Guess what song they're going to cover on that Saturday? You know they're going to cover VAN. You know they are.
I mean, you would go. Okay, you would just go for that alone. If I hear Van live, I would die happy.
Yep, and you know they're going to do it. I mean, they did it at Sick New World, so
yeah. I mean, like, why not? You got them both there. It would be criminal not to.
Exactly. So
yeah, they're totally going to.
That's available now. We now move on to the other festival that was announced today. Now, I already made my thoughts public about this, and that is Incarceration, which was, where did it go? Incarceration, the DWP festival that's shot in Mansfield, Ohio, at the Reformatory. That is the prison that was where they recorded, or they made Shawshank Redemption. They've had it for many years now. It's like half the attendance size of a standard DWP festival because of the prison grounds. So instead of 40,000, it's like a 20,000 cap, which is fine. The lineup for Incarceration, Saturday, Slipknot. Awesome. Slipknot in a prison, can't go wrong. I gotta zoom out so you can see it.
Especially with the jumpsuits.
Yeah, I know.
People just think they're escaped convicts.
Sunday, Five Finger Death Punch. So they're making the rounds again. From what I know in the industry, Five Finger Death Punch is not nearly as expensive as a headliner, which leads me to believe they're going to have a new album come out too. And Friday, the first headline spot I've seen for DWP to do this, Falling in Reverse. Now, I made a joke, and I need to own up to it, because it's awful, but I still say, Falling in Reverse performing at a prison? Isn't that a bit on the nose? So, I stand by that
Some
joke,
low-hanging
however.
fruit.
That is.
Hang on a sec.
Low-hanging fruit is still nutritious, like the high-hanging fruit. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I gotta say though, like they're not the headline for any of the days, but the one I'm the most looking forward to is Slaughter to Prevail, because they played Incarceration back in 2023, and that performance, they shot the whole thing, and it's on like their YouTube channel.
Was that the Wall of Death one?
It's not the Wall of Death one. They did play Broadway, and they did have like the Wall of Death, but it's not like the big Wall of Death.
Yeah.
But that whole performance, again, watch it. You can watch the whole thing. It goes so hard.
Yeah. I said the same thing on the short I made too. I might leave early on Friday and Sunday. This is a strong lineup, though, besides that. You have Knock Loose and Beartooth, the hometown show, because that's Ohio, getting the third billing on day one. You have Lamb of God there. You have the return of 3 Days Grace, which I know people are really clamoring for. You have a lot of good stuff. Acid Bath returning. There's so many good bands on this. If I was closer to it and I knew I could leave early on a couple days, I would go. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a solid. I mean, it's a really, really good, well-rounded rock festival.
Yes.
There's like something
metal,
every day
you know?
for you to enjoy. Yeah.
I would agree. There's not a day that goes, I don't need to go to that. There is bands worth catching every day. Even if I don't love the headline spots for each one of them, I cannot make an argument saying this is a fully bad lineup. It's just, I have bias and I admit my bias. So that's a me problem, not a public problem.
And the Browning on Sunday too.
Yep.
That's going to be fun. Have you seen them?
Yeah, and I used to follow Hardcore Keem too. I probably still do. I just haven't seen some of his stuff lately. But yeah, they got fun stuff. And again, I've always wanted to do the Shawshank tour, and you could do the tour while you're on the festival as well. They have like over 100 tattoo artists come out, and you can get a tattoo while you're there if you schedule it out.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, like they have like the great tattoo artists too, not just Jim Bob down the road in Ohio just come in. No, like they have like the masterclass tattoo artists fly in and do all their stuff with the tables and everything.
That just sounds like the perfect setup to an amazing story for your friends to be like, oh yeah, I went to like this prison to go see Slaughter to Prevail, and I got a tattoo during the show.
Yeah. And I look over on the left, and Corey Taylor's getting the same tattoo, and we high five each other while we're tattooed together. Yeah, on the beds. Yeah.
Did you ever watch this one clip? I found this one thing on the internet. There's like this big famous tattoo artist who did like a bunch of work for a bunch of famous metal musicians, and he did like the chest piece on Corey where it's like the sun and the moon, but he did like half of it.
Yeah.
And I guess they talked about like doing it at a later date, but it never came. So it's just half finished.
Yeah.
And Corey just went off on the guy.
Yeah. It's over a decade of like for the gap between them trying to finish anything out. So
yeah.
So yeah. Other than that though, I've never been to Incarceration for all the DWP festivals I've been to. I've heard fun things. It's not super easy to get to because, again, it's a reformatory in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. So, like, you have to fly into one of the cities in Ohio and then drive out to it. But once you're there, you're there. So, again, if I was more local to it, I would probably try to go, even if I'm not crazy about all the headliners. So, that's just
the destination festival for sure.
Yes,
I feel you.
Yeah, it's an event too. This is not just a standard festival. This is an event with the thing. So, that is a unique entity. And I do think DWP has something special with Incarceration. So, that being said, as we move on, as we always are apt to run out of time, 4 more likes, please. Thank you very much. Someone just said that in the chat. 4 more likes. If you haven't hit the like button, we'll get one more day of festival shenanigans. We do have one bit of bad news. We lost another classic rocker in the form of John Sykes. For those of you who might be a little bit too young, the three of us, but still, we know who these bands are, obviously. WhiteSnake and Thin Lizzy are the two bands that he mostly was known for playing. He had a lot of presence in the 80s and early 90s. Like, you just don't, he's another type of guitarist. You just don't realize how much he was a part of. that type of classic history behind him. Passed away at 65. It's a loss. It sucks, but yeah. R.I.P. to another one. Thin Lizzy, WhiteSnake, Blue Murder, Sykes, his own band, and Tigers of Pantang. That's a name. Tigers of Pantang. They made the announcement on Monday, through his social media account. Someone else, I don't remember who it was, if it was a family member. It was a long battle through cancer. So, rest in peace. Cancer's awful. I can't imagine there's anything else that needs to be really cherished after that, because we've heard so many other people say positive things about this guy. So,
yeah. No, too young for sure.
65 is not that old, you know? I mean, he survived the 80s, so you know he's a tough man.
That's a feat in itself.
And he was in the 80s. WhiteSnake, Thin Lizzy, he was in the 80s.
Also glam metal? Yeah, no, it was like
in
it was a requirement.
When you think of the 80s description, he was literally living in the ground zero of it all. So, as we move on, we have more music teasing. This one came today, apparently. I wasn't even aware of it until one person on this podcast pointed it out to me. With all the Sisantana plus one touring that's going to happen with Maynard James Keenan, A Perfect Circle, Puscifer, and Primus going on, Maynard said the next Puscifer album, 90% done.
Woo!
So kind of cool to hear that. We don't know when we're going to hear it yet. It's not finished, but betting odds are high that we're getting a new Puscifer album in 2025.
I mean, if Maynard says it, because he does not say it, if he says it, we're set.
He'll take his time. I mean, look at the Tool albums and how long they take.
And A Perfect Circle, too.
And A Perfect Circle. So if we know an album, if he says, yes, it is coming, we can rely on that, you know?
Yeah.
So
he doesn't say anything until he's ready to say something. And so this 90% there on the new Puscifer album.
Yeah.
I know, with that track record, though, was that 10% like mean, like, though?
If it's 2025, even December 31st, 2025, I think that still counts and is a good aim for Maynard James Keenan. I think that's fine.
Absolutely.
He's not coming out of his vineyard and it's going to stop his jiu-jitsu practice unless an album is ready to finish. So he also has tour. He's coming somewhat near me, a couple hours away. So I do want to see him. Puscifer's the only Maynard band I've never seen live or shot live. Seen and shot A Perfect Circle a couple times. I've seen and shot Tool 5 or 6 times now, and I love it every time. But Puscifer's the only one. And I don't remember what year it was. I want to say it was an Aftershock. It could be wrong. They actually had like luchadors, professional wrestlers, have a ring on stage with them behind them and just wrestling back and forth while they were playing.
No, there's gotta be like some YouTube footage. That sounds awesome.
Oh yeah, that's where I saw it. That's where I saw it on YouTube. But I was gonna say, you don't need the flashy, expensive video board. Just pay some indie wrestler workers about $50 each to do it for.
Just have people fight on stage. That's a good show.
That's
dude, I saw luchadors at Aftershock. You can't say that, you know?
And also, you don't have to worry about Maynard's safety. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. If anyone tries anything, he'll just turn around and beat both of them up.
Yeah, no, and then he'll hold you for an entire song.
Ooh, yeah, like in a leg lock, and he's just singing on his back, like lying on the stage.
There's like this one infamous clip from like a 90s Tool show where it's like a fan gets on stage during Push It.
Tried to tackle him, yeah.
Freaking... No, he doesn't tackle him. He throws him over the shoulder.
No, the fan tried to tackle him, and then
Maynard I thought he was like looking for like a hug or something. I don't know.
No, I was like,
either way.
Yeah. Also, that's a great discussion point before we go to our next little bits and start wrapping things up. Has it ever worked out for a fan rushing the stage and singer? I've rarely ever seen it, and it usually ends up with someone getting beat in the back.
What's the what are they hoping to get? It's like, oh wait, I'm gonna
once I get on stage, he's gonna let me stay on there the whole time, and he's just gonna.
He's gonna let me sing the song.
What is the thought process? What's the exit plan? What is the next step?
You're gonna lock eyes, and he's gonna let me duet the rest of the set with him. Or you where is your brain? That is not gonna end.
Yeah.
Well,
or when you try to attack when you flat out try to attack them, it's like, dude, what are you doing? Yeah. Why?
It was a couple years ago. Like I want to say the 2022 Slipknot tour. Someone tried to do that on stage to Corey or Clown. It was one or the other. Not only did security grab him by the legs before he even got like 10 steps on the stage, they dragged him off like he was just a bag of trash. Yeah, it's like there's so much evidence of this never working. Why do you think you're the one it's going to work out well for?
Nope.
I gotta say though, it's funny though. It's sort of funny when it's like a really scrawny guy, and then like a 6'5", 300-pound security guard just tackles them.
Yes.
And terrible decision making.
It is.
Yeah.
And also, that security guard isn't just going to brush it off, so I took care of that. No, you made him mad. You made him actually have to do work that he wasn't supposed to do. So it's going to be a lot
You're
worse.
obviously going to get kicked out of the show, so like, great, what did you accomplish?
Yeah. And if you think a concert or festival ticket is expensive, add an urgent care visit after that.
Yeah, and possible charges depending on what happens.
Depending how far you go. Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't happen. We'll end with this before we go to our suggested song of the week and our upcoming tours and albums. I said this to my wife who was there. This was her first festival ever. Rockville 2019. Wage War was playing on the first day on the side stage. They're a Florida band as well. This was 3:00 in the afternoon on day one of a huge 3-day festival. One man was so blistering drunk that it took 3 cops, not even security, cops, to drag him away from the stage through the photo pits. Then he wouldn't stop. It took 8 more cops to help wrangle this guy and drag him back.
That's that drunk strength right there.
He was a heavier set guy too. His bands were cut. He was banned. You bought these expensive 3-day wristbands to go to this huge festival. You couldn't make it 3 hours into the events on day one before everything was over. Oh, he got arrested too. So
yeah. You got 8 cops just like trying to pull you down.
3 cops to pull and then another 8 to help get him backstage and like get him dragged out. So
Choices.
Yeah, right? So we all make some rough choices, but don't worry. Most of you are never going to be that dumb on your worst day.
Ooh,
and if you are, we are not affiliated with you.
Yeah, the podcast that Rock does not support your decisions or have any entity or affiliation with you.
Our hands are clean.
As we move on now, we are going to go talk about some upcoming tours. Alex, there were roughly 400 tours that were announced this past week. Do you have a summation?
I only got 380 of those.
Well, all right.
We've got Marilyn Manson just announced his U.S. tour. We touched on some of those festival happenings.
Yes.
Let's see. We've got Shinedown just announced a tour today, too. That's going to be a really good one.
Arena tour, too. Like, they're playing the NHL and NBA arenas this time.
Yeah, we've got Shinedown with Beartooth, Bush, and Morgan Wade. So this is going to be a big one kicking off in April.
Yep.
We've also got Snot. Snot have officially confirmed that Andy Knapp is going to be their new vocalist for the time being. And Snot will be playing at Incarceration Festival. We just touched on that. They'll also be at Welcome to Rockville. And they're doing a couple of other shows kind of sporadically from like February through August-ish. So Snot on tour. We've also got Coheed and Cambria and Taking Back Sunday, co-headlining tour coming up.
Yep.
We've got Between the Buried and Me. They have a kind of a cool setup going on here. They're going to play Coma, Ecliptic, and Alaska in full every single night on this tour.
And Alaska's the big one, too, from what I understand. So that's going to be a huge draw for a lot of their fans.
Absolutely. And we've got another celebration tour. Cold just announced their U.S. tour celebrating 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage and A Different Kind of Pain.
Big ones.
And hitting the road with them are September Morning and University Drive.
That is going to be one angry, sad show. September Morning and Cold. Yeah.
It's going to be so fun. I'm so excited. We've also got Nothing More announced a couple of headlining shows around the upcoming Disturbed tour. Acid Bath, their first 2 non-festival reunion shows, both are already completely sold out.
Nice.
And yeah, a couple of other ones here and there. We've got Escuela Grind, Dead Kennedys, He Is Legend, and I think those are the biggest ones I have.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to already in 2025. That was announced in the last week and a half, and we're still in January, so...
Absolutely. So many good things coming up.
Yes, very exciting. Rowan, are there any albums coming out this Friday, the 24th of January?
We got a couple right here. So first of all, we got a re-release. August Burns Red is re-releasing Thrill Seeker for their 20th anniversary. By the way, this is like now that we're in January, now everyone's being like, "Oh, these albums turned 20 this year," and now even I feel old. But this is this is the only album. This is like legit their first album. This is the only one that Jake Lurs was not the vocalist for. And, you know, you got that. But then we also have Bumblefoot with Bumblefoot Returns. Just kind of excited to see Bumblefoot on there. I actually got to interview him once for work. So
nice. Yeah, he's been quiet for a while.
He's a friend of my old boss, Mark Weiss, who's another concert photographer. So, yeah. And I know he's not a rock musician, but we also have Matt Berry with an album called Heard Noises. Again, he's an actor, not a rock star, but if you know who Matt Berry is, that man is
the name sounds
like a rock star.
The name sounds familiar.
He's a very flamboyant guy in What We Do in the Shadows.
I love Matt Berry. He was also in Fallout.
Yeah, and he's also in IT. What was it? IT Crowd. He was like the CEO.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That's awesome. Yeah,
he was. Yeah, the guy with the voice. Yeah,
yeah. Father, that guy.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. My favorite part is like, oh, my gun. Boom.
Yeah. So, I would also like to point out our song of the week. We're going to try to remember and be more responsible. I'll do this every week now that music's coming out. Scowl announced they have a new album coming out in April. The single they just announced today with it, Not Hell, Not Heaven. Song of the week for the podcast. I'll share that out with everything. If you like punk, if you like alternative adjacent, and you like a little bit of an edge, and a woman that can sing and shriek and get real angry, that's Kat Moss, and the band is Scowl. They had an amazing EP in 2023, and they were the second band to be part of that Taco Bell commercial where they used their music on a Taco Bell commercial after Turnstile. So
nice.
Taco Bell approved. That's what else do you need? Really? So
hey, I want to
go ahead.
Wait. I want to add one more album because I'm a huge fan of these guys, and I'm super stoked about this. Larkin Poe.
Oh yeah,
Larkin Poe are dropping Bloom.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah, if you're into any sort of like blues kind of old school classic rock vibes, Larkin Poe, fantastic. Check them out.
Very cool. So, that being said, we have some super chats we need to go through. Thank you to everyone that did super chats. Very much appreciated. We're going to go through these somewhat quickly. Many of them were by the same person. Paul, thank you very much for all of the super chats. I'm going to try to bring this over here so I'm staying in frame. I'm going to go through them quickly. So, number 1 from Paul. Will there be a 10 great thrash metal albums list? Not that I'm aware of. We could talk about thrash metal albums on another podcast, though, like just thinking about good ones. Number 2, I appreciate MTV for introducing me to many bands. Okay, so we know Paul is not a Zoomer. Paul grew up with MTV as in music television.
We got a 90s kid right here.
Yes. Number 3, does Creed belong on the Triforce of Suckage? So, Creed has some memeable, dopey music, but I'd be lying if I said the divorced dad rock has not done well for them. And they made a bajillion dollars this past year with that sellout tour. They had a new form of counting. Bajillion. That's right. So, number 4, Slipknot and Gore together could be overkill. You know what? They toured together before, several times. So I'm sure that actually kind of does fit. Do you think Avenged Sevenfold copied Overkill's mascot? Not that I'm aware of. The Death Bat? I'd never even made a comparison, so I don't know.
Think he's talking about the album cover to Time. Not. Oh my God, what's the name of the? I know one song off that album. It's Time to Kill. I forget the actual name of the album though. I don't know how you do that, but I know what album he's talking about.
Okay. Who's better, Kiss or Guns N' Roses? Alex and Rowan, any thoughts?
Guns N' Roses musically. Kiss.
Yeah.
Okay, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
I just know more Guns N' Roses songs, too.
I was going to say, Guns N' Roses, musicians, craftsmanship, quality, Kiss live show. Kiss is a spectacle live. That's the whole point. So.
And like the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a theatrical performance. So.
Yeah.
I can't decide which Iron Maiden album is the best. You can't go wrong with a lot of them, you know? Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Great one.
Power Slave.
There's many good ones to choose from. Is this too much super chats? No, and we appreciate that. Thank you.
At least he's self-aware.
I just love that he made a super chat saying, is this too much super chats? No.
No, you're good.
Are you into the Michael Graves Misfit albums? Honestly, they were not that bad, and they are way better than what the Misfits are doing now live.
Scream was like one of the introductory Misfits songs I got into with the music video.
It'll always be seen as lesser. He really did not do a terrible job. So
point me to the sky above.
Finally, from Paul, top 10 Beavis and Butthead video reactions. So
it ranks Beavis and Butthead reactions.
I don't know how I would make a video out of that, because I would just like, okay, here's Beavis and Butthead. I won't talk about it. You just watch, and then the video gets taken down.
Do you even like? Do you just do music videos, or do you do it when they also like commentate on like?
Oh, that's the whole point. The commentary, like with Facebook.
Well, not even like that's
yeah. So.
Well, not even just like when they did music videos, when they commentated on like 16 and Pregnant or something like that. You know, it's like the Teen Mom shows or like Jersey Shore.
I was just thinking. I was just thinking of the music. Go ahead, Alex.
No, I was going to say, can we include that super awesome Rob Zombie trippy scene from Beavis and Butthead Do America? Because that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Nice.
I haven't seen that movie in at least 20. I was a little kid when that came out, so I think
probably.
It, so, yeah.
I mean, like, my dad introduced me to the movie one day. Is like, you're gonna sit down and watch this, and it's gonna be hilarious.
This is a part of culture. Like,
my dad was part of that MTV crowd too.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he loved that show.
And our final super chat from Metamorphosis: Ronnie Radke already ruined 2 bands, so why not 3? Well, he can also not ruin any. He doesn't have to ruin any bands. No one's making him, so. Let's hope he doesn't ruin anything else for SeeYouSpaceCowboy or anything like that. Let's hope. So, we got 3 days worth of festivals. We have a 3-day festival to book.
Beavis and Butthead only music videos. Okay, great. I'm glad we got that distinction.
Thank you, Paul, for explaining. Beavis and Butthead only music videos. There's a lot of good stuff. And they called out some pretty gross stuff, too, which is really nice. Good work, Beavis and Butthead. Well done. You served the community. So, Alex and Rowan, we got a 3-day festival to book. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's get this going. Every week when we hit the like goal, we book a 5-band festival. Now that we have this, we have 3 days. We have the first day. What are we going to call the first day? I don't even know. Someone think of a name. What Fest? Sure, why not? Day 1 is What Fest. Day 2 is Paul Fest. Day 3 is Metamorphosis Fest. Metamorphosis Fest sounds like a trippy EDM one in Florida where things get way out of hand at night, but you know what? It's going to be different for us. Let's pull this up right here. And to make sure everyone knows I'm not cheating, because I know some people that are new may think that, I promise this is as random as it gets. I pull from a random file. No matter what anyone calls me, I promise I'm honest with this. Here we go. What Fest, Day 1. 5 bands for the day. First up, Deftones. I'm already happy.
Yeah, I'm already in.
What Fest, coming out strong. Number 2, Mammoth Wolfgang Van Halen. Different vibe, but still works for me. Number 3, Shinedown. They're taking a break from their tour to have a show with Deftones. I like it. Number 4, Creeper. I love Creeper. Their latest album was sounded like Meatloaf, but a lot angrier and more foul-mouthed, and it was great. Love Creeper. And number 5, Bullet for My Valentine.
Nice.
This is
Bullet for My Valentine and Deftones. That's a good mix.
There's honestly a pretty strong vibe of good material here. Deftones, I would put as headliner. In the chat, yes or no, would you go to What Fest, Day 1 of our 3-day festival? Type in yes or no. Alex, would you go to Day 1?
Yes.
Rowan?
Yes.
Same for me. There's not a bad thing on here, honestly. Deftones are amazing live. So much good stuff. I'm happy. This will make us money. We're making a good festival here. And somehow, the random festival band generator made less of a random festival than some of the festivals that have already been booked this year. Way less random. I don't know how.
I'm convinced we have some promoters lurking in our chat somewhere.
That stole our idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have to book it myself. I'll just do it at random. It'll work.
Yeah, no, I'll just make AI do it.
I mean, is it coincidence that we've seen all of these festivals come up that look like ours?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Look more random than ours. I mean, we had a couple.
We got a patent or something.
We had a couple that we were talking in chat. They clearly took our idea. There's no way.
Absolutely.
This year has had some random ones, and that's being polite. Yes is across the board. I mean, that's an easy one to point. I do not have the queue up. There we go. Awesome. Day 1 of success. Day 2, Paul Fest. Paul, thank you again for the super chats. Here we go. Paul, your first band. Rancid. Going back to 90s punk. I like it. Number 2, Primus. It's going to get funky and loud and weird. Number 3, Kitty.
All right.
Now we got these angry ladies with Primus. This is a bonkers show already, and I like it. Number 4.
Show.
Yeah. Number 4, Judas Priest.
All right, classic.
Paul Fest looking good. Number 5, AWOL Nation. So before Judas Priest, we're going to all sing Sail together. I'm fine with it. I would go to Paul Fest. Alex?
Yeah.
Rowan?
I would go.
I would.
Yeah, come on. This is a fun one. Yeah, it's a little more random, but still, it's fun. It's solid. Let us know in the chat, would you go to Paul Fest? And also my wife just pointing out, Shinedown is amazing live. If you don't know what you're missing out on if you haven't seen them. Honestly, yes, they put on an amazing live show. I've thought that for years. So I still have my cough for the past month because I've never had enough time to rest and get better. So sorry for coughing and everyone's here. Yes, yes, sail away with my money. Oh, well done. That actually is pretty good. Well done with that comment. Sail, 100% Paul Fest. Sail, yes, yeah, yes. That's 2 for 2, looking unanimous.
Can we make it 3?
Can we?
That's the question.
It's a tall order, but I think it's possible. Metamorphosis Fest, day 3, and then we got to get going. Number 1 for Metamorphosis Fest. Thank you for the super chat. Breaking Benjamin. Number 2. The crowd demands it. A qualifier. Replace any one of the previous bands with the next band. So, do we want to replace Breaking Benjamin or do we want to keep him? I say keep him.
Keep them.
Okay, let's move on. Number 2. Within Temptation. That's kind of cool.
That's fun.
Number 3. We already had Judas Priest. Got to get going. Did we have Motley Crue last week or 2 weeks ago?
I can't remember.
Yes.
Yes. Sure.
I'll trust your judgment. Number 3, My Morning Jackets. Now that's a throwback for that style. Number 4, Sum 41. They're on their farewell tour, but they're going to come to Metamorphosis Fest. And, and number 5, I know we had New Year's Day last time too. So number 5, Nothing More.
Okay.
Honestly, it's not bad.
No.
I can't hate on this. Any other thoughts?
It sounds like a solid radio station.
This is definitely,
gig, you know what I'm saying?
This is definitely like an Oklahoma City radio station fest, and it works for them, you know?
Breaking Benjamin is easily going to be like the big draw, yeah.
Yes, yeah. And you know what? Since Sum 41's closing out their final shows, let's Sum 41 headline. Their last show in the States will be at Metamorphosis Fest. There. That's the hook.
Let's do it.
That's the hook. So, yes. I think yes. No, nothing more. Why not? Okay. I skipped Boomer Crew and Nothing More. We replaced Motley Crue. They're still catching up.
We did.
I'm seeing more yeses. Yeah, if this was Motley Crue still in this, I don't know. That kind of would drag it down a bit. Yes, going for the sum. I think we're seeing a lot of yeses across the board. I think we got it.
Woo!
I admit this was not as strong as the other 2 days, especially the first day, but it was still a solid 3-day festival. Anyone that complains, no refunds. Sorry. Just give
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, honestly. And the third's not that bad. Come on now.
It's not bad.
You already have
We've
the day
had
off
worse.
Anyway. We've had way worse.
Way worse. We've had
so much worse. So
no, for 3 festivals in a row, this is good.
Yeah. So thank you all so much as we are now at the 1 hour mark even. Hope you all are doing well. Thank you for all the likes and super chats. They do help out a ton. Give this time now. Alex, do you have anything you would like to close with before we get to your joke line of the day?
Nope.
Rowan, how about you?
Yeah, just real quick. So I worked as an editor for a reality TV show, and just recently the 2-part premiere had just come live. And interesting enough, it's about rock music, or it's about a guy trying to be a rock star and just utterly failing. So here's the link for you guys if anyone wants to check it out. Again, just kind of like my first big actual production, so pretty happy with it.
Very nice. Thank you so much for that. And also, tomorrow night on this channel, Rock Coliseum 20, no limits. What does that mean? We're not having any limits on the Super Chats tomorrow. You can ask whatever you want. Past suggestions, weird comparisons. It's going to be either great or a disaster. However, it's going to be 2 hours of us taking your suggestions live tomorrow night. John, Mark, Crash, and myself, we do this every couple months. We've never done this one before. I'm trepidatious and concerned, but I'm going in and I try to do our best. So please join us for that. That'll be tomorrow night. That being said, Alex, is there anything you would like to end with, and seeing if you can get us with a new joke for in the new year?
What's made out of leather? All right, rewind. What's made out of... No, don't.
Did you give it away?
No, we're good. What's made out of leather and sounds like a sneeze?
Leather and sounds like a sneeze. A moo? Like a cow?
Hell's a moo?
No, like a moo instead of a chew. Hey, you laughed at my response.
A chew, that's it!
A shoe.
You like, what's a moo? It was so close. You said good to get that one? You know what? No. I got that. That counts.
A moo? What is a moo, Luke?
That's the sound a cow makes, and that's where leather comes from.
Shoe. Bless you. Thank you.
I was on the
Not
same
a moo.
wavelength.
Leather shoes aren't even that common anymore.
I know, but it's all I got, okay, guys?
That's fine. You know what? After this month, I'm not going to argue. I'm just saying.
Hang on, I gotta go tie my moos.
Last Happy's got to step up their game if the,
someone
for
just
the
said
jokes
that,
you're stealing.
Someone just said that deserves a dislike. No.
Ooh, no. Don't be hating on my popsicle sticks.
If you liked that joke, please hit the like button. If you disliked it, please leave a comment and hit the like button. That way I'll know you're serious. Thank you all so much as we fade out. And I explained why my response of a moo actually does make sense offline. Thank you so much again.
No such thing as a moo.
That's what the sound a
moo?
cow makes. One moo.
Shoot.
My wife just said in chat, that's the sound you make when you're driving and see a cow. A moo.
A moo.
There.
No,
that's like what a little kid on a road trip is like, a moo.
Yes, see? Thank you everyone for agreeing
Boo.
with me. Oh, what's a boo, Alex? What's a boo? Yeah.
You boo.
No, a boo was the character that Simpsons got rid of.
That was a poo.
Boo's Aladdin.
Oh, a boo was the monkey. Yeah. All right. Let us know what you think of our new 3-person stand-up act, and will you come see us? Thanks, everybody.